Am I the idiot for making my husband pick up dog poop even though he didn't want dogs? My female 43, husband, male 41, and I are in the thick of it with 3 kids, 6, 4, and 6 months. We also have 2 dogs that I wanted, and an assortment of lizards, snakes, fish, etc. that are his pets. When he agreed we could get a dog, it was with the caveat that I would pick up after the dogs, which I have done for the 30+ years we have had them, even when 9 months pregnant in the summer. Tonight, I came home from an urgent care appointment for myself around the time when my kids would normally all be going to bed. I needed to nurse the baby and put him down, and help my husband put the 6 and 4 down as well, because he skips things like teeth brushing, books, and pajamas if I don't. I'm obviously not feeling well, sinus infection, and walked in to find that one of the dogs clearly had a stomach issue sometime during the day. There was poop on the floor of the nursery and on the floor of the room the big kids share. The baby was crying because he was hungry. Bedtime needed to be started. The kids cannot go to sleep in rooms with poop in them. His solution was to just have everyone sleep in our room until I could get to the poop cleanup, because he absolutely was not doing it. I pretty much begged, saying that I'm sick and I need to feed the baby, and that's something he can't do. And can't he just help me out this once? He refused, saying it makes him sick, and he didn't want the dogs in the first place because he was done cleaning up after pets. I ended up putting the baby down and letting him fuss while I picked up poop, flushed it, and wiped the carpets in a cursory cleanup before nursing the baby and putting everyone to bed an hour later than normal. Was I wrong to ask for help, even though he did explicitly say he wasn't cleaning up after the dogs? Or is this something a good partner would have done without throwing some 3-year-old agreement in my face when our lives have changed significantly? A third baby, since it was made. Editing to add, I love my dogs. I work from home and take care of them all day, letting them in and out, giving good boy girl treats, going for walks, picking up after them, getting them to their annual appointments, grooming appointments, dosing heartworm and flea medicine timely, and giving them pets, snuggles quite regularly. Not an idiot. Wow, just wow. I came in here thinking, if you wanted the dogs, you should look after them yourself. But these are definitely different circumstances. Your husband is not very supportive, doing things just wrong, so you have to do it yourself. How does he put the kids to sleep without teeth brushing and PJs? Does he just take them into their room and close the door? He sounds like hard work. Anyway, could he have helped out this once? Not an idiot. My God, what a baby he is. This is something that just couldn't be done since you were at urgent care that took all of less than 15 minutes. He needed this hill to die on to make himself look like a petulant child. I'm sorry, but there's a reason why men aren't physically able to carry and birth children, because it's guys like this that can't handle dog poop because it makes him sick, and it begs the question if he can't even handle any of the children's poop. Now, for the next story. Am I an idiot for refusing to marry under my fiancé's religion? So my fiancé, male 29, and I, female 29, got engaged after 5 years of being together. We delayed any planning to avoid me from getting distracted since I'm about to take the bar exam, and I tend to hyperfixate. I'm Roman Catholic and have always dreamt of being married in a Catholic church. My fiancé knows about this and knows I've never really had any celebration, birthdays, achievements, or other life events ever celebrated in my life, so I'm just waiting for me to get married. My fiancé's father has a high position in their church which is equal to that of a priest. So I've thrown away my dreams of a church wedding and said I'm okay with a destination wedding. He agreed that he also doesn't want to be married in their church anyway, since the location is extremely inconvenient for everyone and wouldn't look good in photos. We haven't talked about the wedding until one day he said that Phil said that if we're getting married with a Catholic priest, it would be better if we just do a civil wedding. I got hurt and mad and told my fiancé Phil shouldn't be deciding for us since he isn't the one getting married, and he wouldn't even be giving a single penny for the wedding, so why should his opinion matter? My Phil and I never really had a good relationship. He refuses to accept my friend requests, always ignores me during gatherings, was pretty excited when my fiancé's ex who goes to their church contacted him and asked for fiancé's number, and during the few private masses I attended, he'd always talk badly about rich people while looking at me. Our families have a significant financial difference, and my fiancé said that it might just be because my father-in-law is insecure, the house we're living in, My fiance's car and gold jewelry are all from my parents. Film is not the provider type. My fiance got mad and accused me of disrespecting his father. I told him Phil disrespected me first, and they should have not planned about the wedding without asking for my opinion. He then accused me of just wanting to always get my way, and that I am just trying to be controlling. He reasoned that it would be embarrassing if other people find out that the son of a priest got married under Roman Catholicism. I told him all I wanted was for him to acknowledge the pain I felt when my beliefs were disregarded and my dreams crushed when I was told I'd only get married in a civil wedding. He told me why would I even care what priest officiates our wedding since it's not in a church. He later on admitted that he assumed that because he's a son of a priest, I would just convert to their religion, then accused me of not accepting that part of him. I simply told him that he should have looked for a girl who's already of their own. Both of us won't budge, so I said if he wants a civil wedding, then we'd just do the bare minimum of 2 witnesses and neither families are invited. I feel like I may have overreacted a bit, so am I an idiot? Edit. We're part of the Eastern Catholic Church, not covered by prohibition of outdoor weddings. Fiance's religion is derived from Catholicism. He knew I didn't want to be part of their church due to their members. Not an idiot. Time to cancel the wedding. He expected you to convert. You expected him to get married in a Catholic church. You compromised with a destination wedding. He pushed for more. He will continue to push for everything to be on Phil's terms for the rest of your life. Child rearing, religion of children, everything. Are you prepared for that? Time for a long, hard think. Not an idiot. But your fiancé is truly his father's son. Your father-in-law does not respect you, and fiancé was just humoring your fancies, but thinking you would just give up everything to become his image of a perfect spouse without even talking to you about it. Changing your religion, giving up on your dream wedding while just being manipulated to give in a bit at a time. A real sit-down talk is needed before even hiring the catering crew. Now for the next story. Am I the idiot for having a lights-out wedding? I, female 27, am the daughter of the most amazing parents that ever did amaze. No, they are not perfect, but they've literally done everything they could in their lives to make sure I was happy to the best of their ability. They are also both blind. Being raised by blind parents wasn't without its challenges, but we always found solutions or compromises. But the one thing that was often a point of contention, especially when I was a teenager, was clothing/fashion. My parents have their own way of being fashionable, and rather than appearance, it's fabric feel. This has resulted in them having a very eclectic sense of fashion, but I honestly love it. I admit that I hated it as a teenager, as I had no say over my own wardrobe purchases, but I realized after I moved out that I really did prefer to feel comfortable in my clothes over how I looked in them. Took many stupid expensive clothing purchases to realize this, but I digress. Nothing is mismatched anymore, but I have a super cozy wardrobe. With the wedding planning in full swing, my FDH asked me if I was going to be okay with the photos. He did not mean this maliciously. It just didn't occur to him that I was originally planning to buy them clothing to wear. But the more I thought about it, the more I thought, wouldn't a fabric wedding be special? Essentially, the whole wedding will be in the dark. I was inspired by that restaurant in the movie About Time. I realized that I don't want to dress my parents. I want them to be comfortable and to enjoy our wedding the way they experience it. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized I want to experience this special day as they would too. My FDH, honest to God, does not care. In his mind, the moment I said yes, I became his wife. I love him. To avoid accidents, we're going to be using glow stick lighting, and everyone will be provided glow bracelets/necklaces. They light up enough not to crash into each other, but not so much as to light up the room. We're also hiring event staff with night vision for this equipment too. When we announced, most of the family was supportive. My family goes without saying. Fiancé's family is iffy. His brother loves the idea and is going to come in a velvet suit a la Austin Powers. Honestly, it's his parents that are really against it. We had a huge fight over it when they argued that it's not fair to punish the guests because my parents are blind. The reason I think I may be TA is because the part of his family that is siding with his parents are vowing not to boycott if we don't have lights. My husband just thinks it's their loss and that his parents will attend, even if begrudgingly. But I know it would hurt his relationship with them, and I don't want that. It's not that this is a hill I'm willing to die on, but it's my wedding, and this would be really special to me. In quotations, because my husband has told me he'd marry me in a Walmart if that's what I wanted. He just wants to marry me. Am I the idiot? Edit. I feel like I keep seeing these points brought up, so I'd like to address them. We've hired a wedding planner whose literal job is to make sure this event runs smoothly and safely. They are literally being paid to factor in any contingency to ensure the safest experience. There will literally be staff wearing night vision goggles monitoring every table to ensure everyone's safety, and so that if anyone needs help or guidance, they will provide it, be it serving food or escorting other guests. There were 200 invites sent out, and 121 have RSVP'd yes. Each table is set to seat 6, so at this time we're paying for 20 extra hands to cover the tables for 121 guests. This isn't counting our table or the exits. I've heard a lot of people imply that glow bracelets and glow necklaces won't be enough. Having been to many nightclubs and raves in my teens and early 20s, I can promise you that 121 wearing these is enough to see with, and the staff will manage the rest concerning tripping hazard and direction. A lot of the "you're the idiot" are making very valid points, and I'm discussing them with my FDH. I'm also making a list of strong points to go over with my planner tomorrow. But for those people whose only argument is that they wouldn't be comfortable not being able to see, that's literally the point. You're not supposed to see. If someone came in a giant, furry Sully from Monsters, Inc. costume, I'd be thrilled when I ran into them. The wedding isn't going to be focused on visually enjoying the experience. It's about hearing, smelling, tasting, and feeling it. I know for a fact that enjoyment isn't dependent on sight. Amendment to 4. Please know when I said that's the point, I didn't mean the point is to be uncomfortable, and I can see how it came across that way. I want to apologize for that. What I meant is that it's literally the point to attend with limited visibility. When people tell me that they're uncomfortable with not being able to see at a lights-out event, it sounds the same to me as if someone is saying, for example, they're uncomfortable being naked at a mandatory nudist beach. If you're attending knowing you will be naked, or in this case, nearly blind. So making a complaint about not being able to see knowing it's a lights-out event doesn't make any sense to me. You're an idiot. This is an accident waiting to happen. None of the guests will have the skills your parents have at navigating in the dark. Why not just embrace that your parents dress in a way that is uniquely them? Wedding photos don't have to be curated and costumed. They're documenting the people who love you being there. No idiots here. You can do what you want, but this will likely be hell for any of your guests, who are even mildly hard of hearing if you don't have a good sound system, and possibly even if you think you have a good sound system. Something like this is great fun if you're completely able-bodied or already blind, with no mental health issues, and aren't neurodivergent. So do what you like and have a first aid station set up for the inevitable injuries. Now, for the next story. Am I an idiot for yelling at my brother-in-law that his big brother act is getting old and he needs to accept that I'm married to his sister? I, male 26, have been married to my wife Anna, a female 25, for a year. We recently had a couple's weekend vacation away with my brother-in-law, Mark, male 31, and his wife. I initially didn't want to invite Mark, but Anna insisted. Mark and I have never really gotten along much. I have a criminal history, and I don't think Mark has ever really been able to look past that with me, even after marrying his sister. At our vacation rental on Saturday, we all got a little drunk. As I went to get another drink, I noticed that Mark was following me. He started the whole protective big brother act again, and talked about how he hopes I'm treating Anna right, and have truly left my past behind me. It's probably just the alcohol, but I had had enough of this speech, which I had heard 100 times at this point. I got in his face and told him that Anna and I had been married for a year, and his protective brother's speeches were wearing out my patience and he needed to back off. We ended up in a shouting match, and Anna and Mark's wife had to come in and break it up. The weekend was more or less over after that due to the tension between us. Anna says I should have just ignored Mark when he started going off like that, but she isn't the one who is on the constant receiving end of his comments towards me. I do feel bad that I ruined the weekend, but I don't know if it's entirely my fault here. Am I an idiot? Not an idiot. You didn't ruin the weekend, Mark did. What an AH to keep pushing the same narrative after a year. I would have told him that I was back on my bullshit and hoped to go to jail soon just to see his reaction. Not an idiot. It was burglary without assault. Y'all have been together for a while. Anna needs to either tell her brother to back off, or this is going to cause you even more strain in this marriage.